I'm 28, and 3 weeks ago, I pushed a screaming, perfect little girl into the world. Lila. My first, my everything. After 18 hours of sweat-soaked labor in a sterile hospital room that smelled of bleach and desperation. Nick, my husband of 4 years, held my hand through every contraction, his knuckles white, his voice cracking as he whispered, "You've got this, Mara," until Lila's first cry split the air. We were a mess. Tears, laughter, him kissing my forehead like I'd handed him the moon. It was supposed to be our triumph, our unshakable beginning as a family, a bubble of joy no one could pierce. But Evelyn, Nick's mother, a woman with a tongue sharp enough to cut glass, shattered it before the stitches in my body had even settled. He's hated me since the day Nick brought me home, 4 years back, to their creaky old house on the edge of town. A sagging porch, peeling paint, the kind of place that reeks of resentment and mothballs. I was 24 then, fresh out of a dead-end job at a diner, my hands still rough from scrubbing grease, my hair dyed a cheap auburn that faded too fast. Nick was 26, steady, a mechanic with oil-stained fingers and a grin that made me feel seen. Evelyn took one look at me, my thrift store jeans, my chipped nails, and decided I was a leech, a gold digger who'd trapped her golden boy. "She's not your type," she'd hiss at him when she thought I couldn't hear, her voice dripping venom over Sunday roasts. I'd bite my tongue, force a smile, let Nick squeeze my hand under the table. Because he loved me, and that was enough. 4 years of marriage didn't soften her. She'd smirk at my cooking. "Too much salt, dear," and needle me about my lazy art degree. The one I never used because life doesn't give a damn about your dreams when rent's due. When I got pregnant 8 months ago, I hoped it shifts something. Nick and I were giddy, sprawled on our sagging couch in our tiny apartment, dreaming up names over takeout pizza. Lila was our miracle, a flutter in my belly that turned us into something bigger. But Evelyn, she didn't miss a beat. A baby, she'd say, her smile tight. "Hope it's his." She'd laugh. Call it a joke, but it landed like a slap every time. Nick would snap, "Cut it out, Mom," and I'd brush it off, tell myself she was just bitter. Her husband walked out when Nick was 5, left her with nothing but a mortgage and a grudge. I could take it. I had to. Lila's birth changed everything. And nothing. The hospital room was chaos. Beeping monitors, my screams, Nick's ragged cheers as she came out. All slick and red, and ours. I was wrecked. Stitches burning, but holding her. 7 pounds of soft, squirming life made me feel invincible. Nick cried, big heaving sobs, cradling her like she was glass, and we laughed through the haze. Naming her Lila rose after my grandma, the only person who ever believed I'd make something of myself. We were a unit, unbreakable, or so I thought. Until 2 days later, when Evelyn's text lit up Nick's phone like a bomb. I'm propped on the couch, Lila nursing, my body a map of exhaustion, when Nick's face darkens. He's scrolling, thumb frozen, and I catch it over his shoulder. "You should get a DNA test, Nick. You never know these days." My breath stops, the room tilting. Lila's warm against me, but I'm cold. Ice in my veins. A shiver. "What the fuck?" I whisper, voice trembling, and Nick's already dialing, his jaw tight, eyes blazing. "Mom, what the hell is this?" he yells, speaker on, her voice crackling through. "I'm just looking out for you, honey," she says, all syrup and fake concern. "It's not personal. Not personal." My baby, My baby. I don't doubt Mara. Not for a second. Don't you dare pull this shit. She stammers, backtracking. I didn't mean it like that. I'm just worried. But he's done. Hanging up, throwing the phone so hard it cracks against the wall. I'm shaking, tears spilling. Lila fussing as I clutch her tighter. She thinks I cheat. I choke out, and Nick's there, arms around me, swearing she's crazy, that he knows Lila's his. Ours. But it's in me now, her poison, seeping into the cracks of my postpartum haze, turning joy to ash. A week later, she calls. Wants to come over, meet Lila, play grandma like nothing happened. I'm on the couch, Lila asleep in her bassinet, when Nick tells me, his voice soft. Testing. She's asking to see her, he says, and I snap upright. Go. Fear. Low. Question if Lila's even hers. She doesn't get that privilege. Nick's eyes widen, but he nods, slow. I get it, Mara. I'm pissed too. But maybe just once, so she doesn't twist it with the family. Twist it. I laugh, bitter. The sound scraping my throat. Let her twist it. Don't care. She doesn't touch my daughter. He doesn't push, but I see it. The flicker of guilt, the tug of his mom's tears. And she's crying now, loud in public, calling Nick's aunts, his cousins, sobbing that I'm keeping her granddaughter away, that I'm cruel, punishing her for a harmless question. The texts flood in. Is Aunt Linda first, all sanctimonious. Mara, she's hurting. Be the bigger person. Then Cousin Jess, blunt. You're overreacting. It's a baby, not a war. My phone buzzes non-stop. A chorus of judgment, and I'm reeling, cornered in my own home. Mom's the only one who gets it, storming over with a bottle of wine and a snarl. Evelyn's a snake. Shh. Lawrence. A spider. My pet. Fish. Pouring me. She's jealous. Always has been. You owe her nothing. But the doubt creeps in. Am I dramatic, Petty? Tearing apart Nick's family over this? I'm raw, postpartum hormones a wildfire, and every night I replay it. Lila's birth, Evelyn's text, the way it gutted me. Nick's torn, pacing our cramped living room saying, She's my Aunt Mara, but you're my wife. I'm with you. I'm with you. I believe him. But it's not enough. The wound's too deep. Her words a brand on my skin. I can't let her near Lila. Can't let those hands, those doubting, venomous hands, touch my girl like she's theirs to claim. The drama explodes at Thanksgiving. Nick's Aunt Linda hosts a big sprawling house stuffed with relatives, the air thick with gravy and tension. I've dodged Evelyn since the text, but one day, Mara. For peace, I go. Lila in my arms, a shield against the storm I know's coming. Evelyn's there, all weepy eyes and trembling lips, rushing over the second we walk in. Oh, my granddaughter. She cries, arms out, and I pull back, sharp, instinctive. You don't hold her, I say, voice ice. And the room freezes. Forks clatter. Heads turn. A gasp from Linda. She erupts, tears streaming, voice shrill. You were cruel, Mara. Keeping her from me over one little text. I'm her grandma. Nick steps in. You're tight. You questioned her, Mom. You don't get to play victim now. Linda's on her feet. Finger jabbing. She's family. Nick. Mara's punishing us all. Jess chimes in. I already. But Mom's there, slamming her glass down, voice a growl. Evelyn's a liar. She accused Mara of cheating. She doesn't deserve shit. The table splits, half shouting at me to forgive, half backing me. A chaos of voices that drowns Lila's soft cries. I'm shaking, holding her tight, tears burning. You don't get it, I yell, voice breaking. She called my baby a bastard, my daughter, and you want me to smile and hand her over. Evelyn sobs louder, collapsing into a chair, and Nick's cousin Tony mutters, "She's hormonal. Cut her slack. Hormonal." The words are matched to my rage, and I'm screaming now. I'm not the asshole here. She is. Nick pulls me out, Lila wailing, and we're in the car, the night a blur of headlights and silence. Weeks later, it's a war zone. Evelyn's rallying the family. Nick's uncle's calling him, begging him to affix this. Linda's spreading gossip that I'm unhinged, a postpartum tyrant. Mom's my rock, raging at them all, but Nick's cracking, his phone buzzing with guilt trips, his eyes hollow. "He's my mom," he says one night. Voice small. "I hate what she did." I nod, torn. Love him. Hate her. Can't reconcile. Lila's my anchor, her coup's a lifeline, but the betrayal's a weight I can't shake. The climax hits at Christmas. Nick's grandma's house, a neutral ground, packed with relatives. I go against my gut, Lila in a carrier strapped to me, a fortress no one can breach. Evelyn's there, subdued, eyes red, and the room watches us like hawks. She approaches, slow, voice trembling. "I'm sorry, Mara," she says, barely audible. "I was wrong. I was scared, stupid. Please. It's not enough, not the groveling I craved, but it's real, raw, a crack in her armor." Nick's beside me. 10. Thick with eyes. "I don't trust you," I say finally, voice steady, Lila warm against me. "You hurt me. Hurt us. You don't get her yet." She nods, tears spilling, and steps back. Linda scoffs, Tony mutters, but Mom's grin is fierce and finds mine solid. The family fractures. Some curse me, some cheer, but I'm done caring. Lila's mine, ours, and Evelyn's poison won't touch her. Months pass, and Lila grows, smiling, grabbing a light in the dark. Loyalty abound. Evelyn calls sometimes, soft, tentative, and I let her talk. Small steps, no holding yet. The family's split lingers, a scar we all wear. But I'm standing, fierce, unbroken. Am I the asshole? Maybe to them, but to me, to Lila,